Thank you very much. Those were kind words about all of the past chairs, and I hope that I can someday in the future be on a list like that and have a significant number of you say the same thing about me. That would be quite an achievement. But in the past, we've got quite a few good chairs, and they're going to be big shoes to fill. There are some that didn't consider me a serious candidate for Washington County Commissioner chair because I didn't march right down and file for the chairmanship. I took the unconventional way of going. When many citizens out there asked me to run for county chair, I said, okay, then show me the support. Show me that my philosophy is the philosophy you want here in Washington County. And you know, the statement that many make that I'm somehow not a viable candidate because I didn't file on my own behalf characterizes what we're seeing in government everywhere. And that is that there is less respect of government by the people, and this truly was by the people, and more respect for government over the people. And there's a big difference there, and we'll get into that as we go through this. Personally, I find great honor in being selected by many folks out there who took the time to put their names to a petition. Many of those are sitting here in this room, and I thank each and every one of you who participated in that venture. This race is more about, or not so much about who will sit as chairman of Washington County, but it's really a race about the heart and soul of Washington County over the next several years. We lead the state in economic development, in high-paying jobs. We lead the state even in education among our workforce. Some of the highest educated people in the state are here in Washington County. And this is really no accident. And in fact, we even lead the state in livability. And in my own opinion, this is God's country. We've maintained a very livable, friendly lifestyle community here. But we didn't achieve this by accident. When other counties were trying to pass laws to force social change, they were trying to control the nature of industry, and in many cases trying to create their own version of utopia here, regardless of what we individually might have thought that our communities ought to be. We were sticking with our basic mission, our core services. We were trying to do the best we could with the core services. And really, in a nutshell, what that means is to achieve the highest service level at the lowest possible cost. And I believe here in Washington County, we've achieved that over the last quite a few years, the last couple of decades, in fact. We've not taken the lead of other counties to move out into other lifestyle choices. We've always stuck with the core services. And then, because we were successful at providing the best service possible, that freed up revenue. It created economic development in our county and freed up revenue that allowed us to do some of the things like finishing the Banks-Vernonia Linear Trail, creating the first state park here in Washington County, trails projects, neighborhood streets programs. We've been able to do those things because we focused on the core mission first. Now we're in a recession. What do? In a recession, you go back to the basics. You consolidate and make sure that you are fiscally responsible and use fiscal discipline. That's extremely important. It doesn't mean that you branch out and try to be all things to all people. I believe that government, by its nature, and our founding fathers knew this, government has a tendency to want to expand and grow and be things that it was not intended to be. We need to use the fiscal discipline that we have maintained throughout the last 20 years or so and continue to be the best county that we can be. We, as a county, weathered this recession probably better than any other county in the state. And we did that because we always looked way out into the future. We saw what the trends were, and we made the adjustments today for tomorrow. That's important, and I think that we should continue to do that. This county has been a shining star in the state for the last 2 decades because we stick to those basics. In recent years, I believe that we've started to stray from that. We've done that both financially and in the quality of service that we're able to provide. A good example of that is while we're working on North Bethany, we have a noble intent to create the best community we can. Look at how long it's taken to do that. That land has been inside the UGB now for, I believe, 7 years, and we've been working on trying to come up with a good plan that works for everybody, and that's been several years. That costs everybody money. It costs you, the taxpayers, money. It costs the developers who own the land or have an interest in the land. It costs them money. It doesn't serve anybody well. It certainly does not serve the needs of Washington County. That needs to be revised. You know, we need to keep in mind that, that livability really starts with a job. And that means that in order for each and every one of you to have a job, we have to create the environment where jobs can happen. Government does not create jobs. Government creates the environment where it happens. And that means that we have to recognize that, how am I doing time-wise? Where am I looking? Oh, okay. We need to recognize that business is not like a residence. A business has a choice. They can either start a business and hire people and put people on, or they can grow, or they can not start the business at all. And those decisions are made based on whether we create the environment in which they will grow and form. We can't make anybody form a job. We can't make anybody hire anybody. All we can do is create the environment. I believe that it's time that we take another look at the policies that we've put in place in the last couple of years and start to recognize that the environment is turning unfavorable somewhat here in Washington County, and that we recorrect and stay on course. The other day I received a letter from the Office of the Governor of Idaho, and this was in my own business. Those of you who know me know that I have a manufacturing business of my own. I received this letter, and it was asking me to move my business to Idaho, and it was touting all the things that I know and that most of us here in this room know that we should be doing here in Washington County. And that is keeping taxes low, keeping land available, keeping an educated workforce. It's just the basics. And yet we are starting to stray away from that here in Washington County. I didn't take it seriously. I don't intend to move out of Washington County. I still believe there's some real value in living here. Great people, a great environment. We've done what we can to have a thriving ag economy, as well as many options for recreation and business and jobs. And I don't intend to move my business. But it was telling that other states are seeing what's happening here in Oregon and sometimes here in Washington County, and like vultures, they're ready to pounce and draw our industry away. It's time for us to wake up to that fact before people actually do take it seriously and move out and make the corrections that we need to. I believe that in all of the areas that I've talked about, especially about jobs, that there are stark differences between myself and my opponents. It doesn't take higher taxes or forcing people to live in smaller living spaces to create a good economy. I don't promise you the moon, and I don't promise you radical change here in Washington County, because for the most part, we have been on the right course over the last 2 decades. What I can promise you is that I will provide the leadership for Washington County as though it came from the public itself. That's very important. I don't have a vision that I'm going to try to ram down anybody's throats. I'm going to include the public in the decisions we make with the recognition of what it takes to create a strong economy. It's because of that I am very appreciative of those who took the time to put me on the ballot, and I honestly hope I hope that I live up to your expectations, and I hope that I can get your vote as well on the ballot on May 18th. So thank you all for hearing me today, and be happy to talk with any of you afterwards, and I look forward to the questions.